Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Elle here. So today's video isn't a makeup tutorial. Today's video is going to be talking about different foundations. Just because I know obviously a lot of people are always like, oh, what foundation is the best one? Which one should I get? I feel like that's the thing everyone always wants recommendations on, is a foundation mainly. Especially with clients, clients tend to ask about different types of foundations, and sometimes they might not know different terminology that like makeup artists use when we're talking about foundations. Obviously not everyone, because some people come to have their makeup done and they know a lot about makeup because they absolutely love it, and obviously they know what they want. But I've had a few clients personally where they don't really quite know, and there's nothing wrong with that, because obviously not everyone wears makeup every day or does like it as a job or whatever. But yeah, so some people don't know, like if I say to someone like, oh, do you want more matte skin or do you want more dewy skin? Some people are a bit like, what's dewy mean? kind of thing. So I thought I would go through some of my foundations, not all of them because I have a lot of foundations. I've just counted and there's 8 foundations in my drawer that I'm not actually going to be talking about today. That just goes to show how many foundations I actually have, because I've got 8 foundations in front of me as well that I am going to be talking about. So that's a lot of foundations for one person, isn't it? Like, I don't need that many. I don't need that many whatsoever, but anyway, let's just get on with this video. So these are going to be 8 foundations. They're all quite different, some from the same brand, some aren't. You'll know what I mean by that. I mean, like, I'm looking at them now, like 4 of them are actually MAC. But I did used to work for MAC, that's why I have so many MAC foundations. I think that will also be quite helpful because I know a lot of people only think MAC do one foundation, and they don't. They do quite a lot of foundations. So I thought that'd be quite interesting to like compare the different MAC foundations as well, and then compare them to the other 4 foundations I've got that are a different brand. Obviously you've got MAC, which is like high end, and 2 of the other foundations are high end, and then 2 are like your cheaper drugstore foundations. So I don't own many like drugstore foundations. Like those 2 foundations that I'll be talking about are literally the only drugstore foundations that I really own. So I need to get some more drugstore foundations basically to give them a go. Anyway, I'm not going to go on for too long in my intro. I'm just going to get straight on into it. I did write everything down in just this notebook because obviously I film on my phone now, so I can't actually just go off my phone on the notes. So it's all written down here. So let's just jump straight in. So the first foundation I'll be talking about is the MAC Face and Body Foundation, which obviously face and body, you can use it all over. You can use it on your face, you can use it on your legs. Like I know like at fashion weeks and stuff, they tend to use it like on the models' legs and stuff, just to make everything look more smooth and perfect and flawless. So this comes in 2 different sizes. I've got the 120ml, which is the big one, and that is £30. But you can get a smaller one, which is 50ml for £27 as well. With each foundation, I'm going to tell you what it claims on the online on the website, and then I'm going to tell you like my review, my opinion of it. Okay, so it says online on the MAC website that Face and Body is a long wearing foundation, that it's an 8-hour wear. It is water resistant, instantly hydrating, it's for all skin types including sensitive, it's dermatologist tested. That just means basically that when they were doing the testing, a dermatologist was the one in control of all the testing, so someone that actually does know a lot about skin. And it's ophthalmologist tested, so it was tested to make sure it's safe to use around the eye area. And it's non-acnegenic, so that means it's unlikely to cause any acne, breakouts, etc. So that's what it claims online. My review, so it is a very lightweight foundation. It's called Face and Body Foundation. It's not going to be full coverage whatsoever. It's very, very sheer. I'll pop some on the back of my hand so you can see what it looks like, but it is very sheer. And for anyone that wants to know, this is the shade C2. You could see that on the back of my hand. It's quite a thin consistency, and I'll just blend that into the skin. As you can see, it is very sheer. When it comes to foundation, I would always say, yeah, apply your foundation with a brush or a sponge. Not even in shot, with a brush or a sponge. This is the one foundation where I would recommend using your fingers to apply it. Anyone that's got this foundation, You might know what I mean, you might have tried it yourself and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Some people might have this foundation and be like, what on earth are you talking about? Basically, if you do have this foundation and you don't know what I'm talking about, what you should do is pop some in your fingers and rub it together. And at first you'll be thinking like this is not doing anything whatsoever, but all of a sudden it gets thicker. You can sort of just like feel it get thicker. And then when you apply it to the skin, you can get a bit more coverage from it and it's easier to apply. So that's how I like to apply the Face and Body foundation. It's the only foundation I will use my fingers for. But yeah, definitely worth giving it a go, trying it out like that. It is very dewy. I mean, I've pretty much rubbed it into the back of my hand now, but if you can see, my hand's still got a bit of a sheen to it. It is very, very dewy. I would recommend setting it with a powder, even if you've got dry skin. I feel like dry skins are going to get on with this more than oily skins, but it is still really nice on oily skins. It is for all skins. Any skin type can use it. But if you are oily, I would definitely recommend setting it with a powder because it's very dewy already and it's just going to be very... It'll just move around a lot if you don't set it with a powder, basically. So definitely set it with a powder. I would say it's long wearing. Whenever I've worn it, it's really long wearing. But this kind of foundation, I absolutely love this. I mean, I was going to say on holiday, but even in the UK, if you're just wanting something like light coverage, like day-to-day wear, one thing I do is I tend to just put this on and then just sort of spot conceal in certain areas. I do have a YouTube tutorial like showing you how to get like a flawless, like light coverage skin with this foundation. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave that in the description box down below so you can go and watch it if you do want to see how I create like a flawless look with a light coverage foundation. But it's really nice on holidays as well, so if you are going on holiday and you just think I just want a little bit of something, nothing too heavy because it's going to be hot, and you obviously when you're on holiday you don't really want to be wearing like anything too thick in the hot weather, this is amazing. Definitely recommend this foundation. So the next MAC foundation is the MAC Studio Water Weight SPF 30 foundation, and that looks like this. It's in like a nice frosted bottle. So this is £30 and you get 30ml of product. It's like £1 for a milliliter. It's not too bad. I don't think it's not cheap, but it's not the worst thing out there expense wise. So the claims online is that it is long wearing, instant and all day hydration, broad spectrum UVA and UVB SPF 30. It's for all skin types, it's non-caking, it's dermatologist tested and it's ophthalmologist tested. So that's what it claims to be online. So review wise, so because there is SPF in here, you are going to get a little bit of a flashback when you take photos with, obviously with flash on. So for those that don't know, flashback is caused by an ingredient called titanium dioxide, which is found in SPF. So I know a lot of people are always like, oh, how come like when I put my foundation on, then I go out and I take photos and I use flash, my face looks white. It's if you're using a product that's got SPF in it, that is why. But obviously SPF is also really good if you are using it as more of a daytime foundation, because it is going to be protecting your face from the sun, which is good. It is very hydrating. I would say it's hydrating. I would say it's more suited to drier skin types. I feel like oilier skins won't really get on with it that much. Personally, I think, I mean, I've got dry skin and it's fine for me, but I feel like anyone with oilier skin, it's not gonna work, personally. I don't think, I mean, you might like it, you might have oily skin, you like it, but if you've got oily skin, I would probably go with something different to this one. I wouldn't really say it's long wearing. I don't know where they got 8 hours from. It is quite, I'll show you on the back of my hand now, but it is quite watery, hence the water weight, if you can see. This is like such a pale shade, by the way, because this is not my colour anymore, but this is the shade NC15. Yeah, it is quite watery, and I feel like because of that it doesn't last that long. I don't think it lasts 8 hours personally. I mean, it doesn't come off straight away, but it doesn't last 8 hours in my opinion. And as you can see, it's like a medium coverage and it is very dewy and very hydrating. So that is what it looks like. It's not my favourite foundation. I don't really reach for it all that often, hence being in such a pale shade when I don't really wear NC15 anymore. If I was to wear it now, I'd probably just mix it with something a little bit darker. But yeah, so if you are looking for something that's more, if you've got dry skin, if you're looking for something hydrating, just something that's day-to-day wear again, something that's like a light to medium coverage, then it is a good foundation. I'm not going to say it's not, it's just not my favourite personally. Guys, if I was doing a video talking about foundations and I was talking about foundations that were from MAC and I didn't talk about this foundation, I think it would be a crime. So you all know what it is, it's the MAC Studio Fix Fluid. I could not say that, and this has got SPF 15 in it. This is MAC's best-selling foundation. On the website it says this is a 24-hour wear foundation. It controls oil and shine for up to 6 hours. I'm just like doing a little dance with this, I don't know what I'm doing. It's non-acnogenic. It's for all skin types, but especially oily skin. It's non-fading, non-streaking, non-caking, and non-settling. It's sweat and humidity resistant. It's oil-free, offers a broad spectrum UVA and UVB SPF 15. It's dermatologist tested and it's non-comedogenic. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I could not say that at all then. So that's what it says online about this foundation. So first off, again, it's got SPF, so it's going to cause that bit of flashback. However, I feel like it doesn't cause as much flashback as the water weight does, probably because it's got less SPF in it. I don't know. Just guessing that's the reason, but it doesn't cause as much flashback. Yeah, all skin types can wear it, but it is definitely better suited to oily skins, I would say, because it is oil controlling. That's kind of one of the purposes of the foundation. It's mattifying, it's oil controlling. It's non-cakey if you apply it correctly. So many people always say like, oh, the MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation is so cakey, it's like way too thick, it's this, it's that. I don't think it is. I think it's just the way it's been applied. If you take loads of it and put it on, yeah, it's gonna look cakey because it's already a full coverage foundation. If you just take a little bit at a time and like buff it into the skin, it's not going to look cakey whatsoever, and you're not going to feel it on your skin. I mean, I use this on my, like, just so you know, I don't really use this on myself anymore. I've put it on today. I've actually mixed it with a different foundation though, because obviously it's too light for me, so I've mixed it with a darker foundation. And that was just to be like, I've not used it in ages and I want to see what it's like on my skin, because I used to not really wear this. But I use this on my clients, I use it in my kit, and I absolutely love it. All of my clients always say to me like how they feel like the skin looks really flawless, it doesn't look cakey or feel cakey, it doesn't feel heavy, and they tell me that it lasts on their skin as well. So some of my clients will message me the next day like, oh, it's lasted, like I fell asleep with my makeup on and it's still on now. I'm just like, you should probably wash that off. But yeah, so if anyone wants to know about that 24-hour wear, there you go. I would not advise wearing it for 24 hours. Definitely not. Please take your makeup off before you go to bed, please. But yeah, so if it's applied correctly, I don't think it's cakey. It is a full coverage foundation. I mean, I'd say it's medium to full coverage. It's definitely very buildable, and it is a matte foundation as well, so it's not really very dewy. It's definitely more of a matte finish. So if you do like that matte look, if you don't like shine, it's good for that. If you do like to be a bit more dewy, you can make it more dewy. You can like mix it with strobe cream, or you can put strobe cream underneath it and Studio Fix on top, or like any other kind of like dewy primer, and it will help it to look more dewy. If you mix it with strobe cream rather than putting it on top, it's also going to obviously sheer out the foundation and you get a little bit less coverage as well. It doesn't come with the pump either, so it just comes with like a normal lid and you have to buy the pump separate. As you can see, it is quite a bit thicker to the others, and it's very matte, like there's no shine there whatsoever. So it's definitely very, very matte. Yeah, it doesn't come with the pump, as I was saying, you have to buy the pump separate. I'm sure the pump is like £4.50 unless it's gone up in price, because it usually does. I've just realised I didn't tell you how much that foundation is. So it is, you get 30ml and it's £27, which is depressing because when I used to work there it was £23.50, and before I worked there I'm sure it was cheaper than that, so the prices definitely go up. So yeah, it's £27 now for 30ml product. If you are wanting something full coverage, something matte, something that's going to control your oil, it is a good foundation. There's a reason it's the best seller, there's a reason so many makeup artists use it in the kit. It is a very, very good foundation. This is MAC Studio Sculpt SPF 15. Comes in a tube like this. I am running out. I do have a backup because I love this foundation. So this is, you get 40ml of product and it costs £30, which is pretty good because obviously so far everything's been like 30, other than face and body, that's like the exception. Everything's been like 30ml for either £30 or £27. So I think that's quite good. 40ml of product for 30 quid. That's not bad in my opinion. So online it says that it is long wearing, offers broad spectrum UVA and UVB SPF 15. It offers, I just like swiped my lip with that then, like with the corner of it. It offers long-term hydration. It is water resistant, dermatologist tested, ophthalmologist tested. About this foundation, so obviously again you've got that SPF in there, so you're going to get a little bit of flashback, but you don't get as much as you do with other products with higher SPF in there. It's a gel-based foundation, so I'll just show you. This is the shade NC30. So this is what it looks like. You can see it's a gel consistency. It's quite thick. I'll just blend that in. This is so dark in comparison to my hand. So that is what it looks like. As you can see, it's very dewy as well. It is hydrating, I would say. With it being that gel formula, it is very, very hydrating. It's full coverage, so I see it as, it's basically like the Studio Fix Fluid, but the dewy version. I do have this one in my kit as well. I use this on clients that want more of a dewy look, because I do think it looks, I'm choking, I do think it looks really, really nice on the skin. One thing though, it doesn't dry down. So do you know how like a lot of foundations, you put them on, obviously they're like a little bit wet and tacky, but they dry down and you like, they're not really going to transfer and stuff like that because they're dry now, whether regardless of as to whether, I can't talk today, regardless as to whether they're matte or dewy, they'll dry down. Because this is a gel based formula, this doesn't dry down, so this is going to stay like wet on the skin, which does mean it can transfer sometimes. All you need to do is just set it with a powder. It won't take away like the dewiness, obviously depending on how much powder you put on and what powder you put on, but if you just put like a light dusting of like a really nice soft powder, it's not going to take away the dewiness of the foundation, but it'll just make sure it's a bit more set and it's not going to be transferring throughout the day, and it doesn't feel like wet on the skin either. I would say if you've got oily skin, you're not going to like this foundation whatsoever, but if you've got dry skin, it is really, really nice, especially if you like to look nice and glowy. So the next foundation is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. This is what it looks like. So this one is £29 and you get 30ml of product. I shouldn't think if I told you all the shades that I had in like the MAC ones, but I did. But this is the shade Natural Beige for me. It's my tan shade. I obviously wouldn't wear it right now because I'm a bit on the paler side, but when I'm tan I would wear this foundation. So this is an oil-free foundation. It's medium to full, this is where it says online, indetectable coverage. It has coconut water, which aids in replenishing skin's moisture levels. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, but alpine rose helps empower skin's health and resilience, and hyaluronic acid gives a smoother, more youthful look. So that's what it claims online. So I would definitely say it's definitely a medium to full coverage foundation. So yeah, it's definitely medium to full coverage. It's not as thick as the MAC one in consistency, but it's still a thick foundation. As you can see as well, it's not as matte as the MAC one either. It's definitely more of a satin finish, whereas the Studio Fix Fluid is matte. This one is more of a satin. It's not completely dewy, but it's not matte either. You can see it just gives a nice sheen if you have a look. Yeah, I would say it's definitely not cakey either. I don't think it's a cakey foundation. I think it is a really, really nice foundation. It is for all skin types because it's oil free, but it's also hydrating. Before I bought this foundation, I was a little bit put off by it because I thought it was going to be more suited to oily skins. I didn't think it would be good for dry skins, but then after purchasing it, and with how dry my skin is, let me just say it's amazing for dry skin as well. So obviously it's oil free, so it's going to be good for oily skins because you're not putting extra oil onto the skin, but it's got hyaluronic acid in there as well, so it's going to be more hydrating and plumping and going to help smooth the skin and give more of a youthful appearance, as it says online. It is definitely long wearing. It will last you like all day or all night if you're going out. it is definitely long wearing. Next up we have got the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder Foundation, which looks like this. This has got SPF 15 in it as well. You get 40ml of product for £34. So I'll just tell you what it claims online first. So it says online, innovative technology moisturises your skin and evens out imperfections in a lightweight formula. SPF 15 protects your skin from UV rays. Youth boosting actives help give you baby soft skin by reducing wrinkles, evening and smoothing complexion. I don't know if I'm saying this one right. Pseudoceramides? No idea. Pseudoceramides, I think, hydrate your skin for up to 18 hours. It's ideal for dry, normal and combination skin, and it's a sheer buildable coverage. So I don't know about you, but I mean, I've found this with all Charlotte Tilbury products anyway. From reading that, it's kind of like skincare and makeup in one from all the ingredients in there that have just been going on about. This is what it looks like. Mine's in the shade 2, which is obviously too light for me now, but you know. And this is what it looks like on the back of my hand. So you can see it is definitely more sheer. It's not full coverage. It is light to medium. You can build it up a little bit, but it's not going to be a full coverage. And it's, again, you can see it's got that more satin finish to it. It's not too matte, but not too shiny either. A little bit in between. I would say it's long wearing. I mean, I feel like whenever I've worn it, I've not had issues with it wearing off, so it has been quite long wearing. It is really hydrating as well, I will say. It does kind of give that sort of like blurring effect to the skin, like once you've applied it, it sort of makes your skin look a little bit airbrushed, which is very nice. It's definitely non-cakey. And obviously, yeah, they've said it's like dry, normal combination of skin, which I agree with. Probably oily skins probably might not like it that much, but definitely your drier and your normal skin types, and maybe even combination, might like this foundation. It is very nice. It doesn't cling to dry patches at all. But yeah, it's like that nice in between of it's really hydrating, but without it being like too shiny on your skin, which is, I think, quite nice. Last two foundations, and they are from the drugstore, so they're nice and cheap. I'm going to stop. So this is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Radiance Foundation with Hyaluronic Acid. That's what it looks like. I have two of these because I've got like my tan shade and my lighter shade. This is the one that I've got on today with this, if you're wondering. I've mixed these two together for my foundation today. And that's what it's looking like. But yeah, so in this foundation you get 23ml, which is obviously, compared to everything else, that's the lowest amount of product, but it's £9, so well, you can't complain, can you, for £9? I mean, come on. So the claims online, so it's got it's a 50, in the range it's got 50 shades. I couldn't get that out then. It's got 50 shades, which I think is pretty good to have 50 shades. So it's infused with hyaluronic acid to hydrate, plump and smooth the skin. So that's what hyaluronic acid does. It retains water, it holds water, so your body does actually produce hyaluronic acid, but obviously as you get older, almost like collagen and elastin, it doesn't produce as much. So that's why a lot of products now have hyaluronic acid in them, so that you can get that extra moisture from there. And it says that it gives a satin glow as well. It also says it's for all skin types, but especially dry skin, and it doesn't settle and it doesn't cling to any dry patches. So first of all, I would say yes, it's a full coverage foundation. There's on here it's medium to full, and yeah, I would definitely agree. When I first bought this, I was thinking it was going to be like medium, heavily medium, but then like you could sort of get it to full coverage if you wanted to. But when I first applied it, I was just like, whoa, that's like full coverage. Like, I have a lot of problem areas around here, which is like hormonal, like spots and stuff, and I'm terrible because I've said this in like loads of videos, but I do pick up my spots. I don't mean to, it's just like a habit and I need to stop. I'm trying to get better at that and stop doing that, but obviously then it causes scab and it looks all red and really gross. And the first time I used this foundation, it would like cover that up straight away, and I was like, whoa, that's definitely full coverage. Yeah, it's non-cakey. I don't find this to be cakey whatsoever. Again, I feel like the whole foundation's looking cakey. completely depends on how it's being applied. If you're putting loads on, it's going to look cakey. But if you're just doing it like bit by bit, it's not going to look as cakey. I mean, the thing I would recommend for any foundation when you're applying it is just apply it a little bit at a time rather than putting loads on at once. So apply a thin layer and think, right, is there any areas where I need more coverage? And if there are, put a little bit more on. Because sometimes, like for me especially, my forehead is fine with just a thin layer, it doesn't need anything more than that, but like this area, like my cheeks and stuff, I want a bit more coverage, so I would put a thin layer on and then think, right, I want a bit more in these areas, so I'm going to put a little bit more on there. That's the best way to apply foundation, so that you get that full coverage without it looking cakey. I find that anyway. It's very hydrating. It's a dewy foundation, so it does make your skin look really nice and glowy and dewy and just really nice and hydrating. And yeah, it's long wearing. I would definitely say this is long wearing. It is a very, very nice foundation. For £9, you just can't go wrong. I absolutely love this foundation. It's in the shade F9.5. I couldn't say that then. But yeah, as you can see, it's obviously way too dark for me at the minute. Again, you can see it's not as thick as the Studio Fix Fluid, but it's still a very nice coverage. It's quite similar actually to the Too Faced Born This Way, I think personally. That's what it looks like on the back of my hand, so you can see it does give that nice glow to the skin. Next up is a relatively new foundation. I've only had it since being in lockdown. And this is the XX Revolution Glow Skin Foundation. This is what it looks like, and you get 27ml for £15. So it's not 30ml or 40ml or whatever all the others are. It's a bit more than this. I think this was 23 millilitres, and obviously this is 27, and it's £15. So it's a little bit more expensive. Obviously, these are both Revolution products, but this is XX Revolution because they kind of like did like almost like a sister brand, let's just say, that's a bit more like luxury kind of thing, so that's why it's a little bit more expensive, but it's still obviously nowhere near as expensive as like your £30 foundations from MAC. So it says online that there are 55 shades in this foundation, which is pretty good. It's a lightweight buildable coverage infused with illuminating pearl particles. It's got hyaluronic acid in it. And then it says collagen. It also includes collagen and peptides. So I didn't know what peptides were. Of course, I just didn't. So I looked online. So it said, this is what it said online about peptides. It says, peptides are short chains of amino acids that act as building blocks of proteins such as collagen, elastin, and keratin. So it triggers cells, it's like your skin cells, to perform specific functions such as building collagen and elastin. So it's sort of triggering your skin to like produce that collagen and elastin to make your skin look more youthful and a bit more plumper and a bit more hydrated. So that's pretty good. I never knew that. I didn't know what peptides were. And yeah, it also contains collagen. So for those that don't know, in your skin you've got collagen and elastin, and that's what makes your skin look sort of plump and firm, and like, you know, the whole like if you were to like just pull on your skin and it just springs back like straight away, like you just pull on it and it just springs back. That's to do with collagen and elastin, mostly your elastin. So as you get older, you have less of that in your skin, and you produce less of that, which is what causes like aging, like your wrinkles and like looser, saggy skin and stuff. That's what causes that. So yeah, so that's what it claims online. So I would definitely say this is definitely a medium to full coverage foundation. I'll show you what it looks like on the back of my hand, because I do think this is definitely a thicker consistency than the Conceal and Hydrate foundation from Makeup Revolution. So this is what it looks like. This is in the shade FX8. So I'll just blend that in so you can see. It's definitely, I don't know if you can see that on camera or not, but it is definitely thicker than the Conceal and Hydrate foundation. It is medium to full coverage, so even though it's thicker, I'd say like that the Conceal and Hydrate one is fuller coverage, but you do obviously still get quite good coverage from this. You can smell like the coconut and stuff in it as well. Clearly you can see it's quite a glowy foundation. That's what it's looking like. You can see that dewiness. It is very hydrating as well. The feel of it is, because obviously it's thicker, but it's not like thick in like an awful way. It kind of just feels a bit more of like an emollient. It's very good for dry skin, and I don't think it's cakey whatsoever. It looks really, really lovely on the skin, really, really glowy, really dewy. I mean, you can tell most of my foundations are dewy and glowy because I've got dry skin, so I definitely prefer more of a dewy look to my skin. But yeah, I absolutely love that foundation as well. It's a very good foundation. As far as favourite foundations go, I would definitely say these two are my favourite foundations. So the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, absolutely love, love, love this foundation. Obviously medium to full coverage, it's got hyaluronic acid in it, it's oil free, so it's hydrating, it's everything, and it's amazing. And yeah, I love that foundation. And also the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate foundation as well. I absolutely love this one, and I think for £9, like, that's a bargain. Like, I think it's such an amazing foundation, especially for the price. Just, if you've not tried it, go and buy it, because you can get it from like Superdrug or Boots or wherever, and it is amazing. And in fact, I don't know if you can get it from Boots. I think Boots just sell like Sex Revolution, not Makeup Revolution, but you can definitely get it from Superdrug, so definitely go and purchase it, because £9 and it's amazing. I swear by it. This is the foundation I use most of the time. Like, this is my day-to-day foundation. It's amazing. But they're my two favourite foundations. If I was talking favourite foundation for like lighter coverage, I usually do prefer full coverage foundation. That's why my two faves are full coverage. But obviously, if I did want to go for lighter coverage, it would be the MAC Face and Body, obviously. And as far as my kit goes, I do love my MAC Studio Sculpt and my MAC Studio Fix Fluid, just because I know I can cover so many different skins with them. Like, I've obviously got something more matte, something more dewy, and if I do want to sheer them out, that's really easy just by mixing a bit of strobe cream or any other moisturiser in with them. So that's what I use in my kit most of the time. All the time, to be fair. That's what I use in my kit, and then sometimes I use them on myself as well. I hope that clears up for some people like different foundation formulas and stuff like that. Let me know in the comment section down below if I've mentioned any foundations that you absolutely love or absolutely hate. Have I mentioned your favourite foundation, the foundation you use all the time, a foundation that you absolutely can't stand? Have you tried any of the foundations that I've mentioned? Let me know. Let me know if you're going to try some of them. Let me know if you're thinking like, oh, I like the sound of that one, I'm on my way to purchase it. Let me know in the comment section. And also let me know what's your favourite foundation. If I've not mentioned it, what is your favourite foundation? What foundation should I try that I've not mentioned? Let me know, because I always love to find a new foundation, especially if it's drugstore and it's cheap. You know, let me know. Drop it down in the comments. What's your favourite foundation? I want to know that, so I can give it a try and see what I think. But yeah, that is everything today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section down below what you did think of this video. If you want to see more videos like this where I'm talking about certain products rather than necessarily actually doing my makeup, because I quite enjoyed this. I think it was like quite a good video to watch. I think it's really good for anyone that is looking for a foundation and doesn't really know what to get. So let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of the video, and if you do want to see more like this. Also, make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and make sure you subscribe to my channel as well, because that would mean the world to me, and I'm just trying to grow my little channel. Yeah. But that's everything, so thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!